Hello everyone. It is Sunday, January the 17th, 2016, and it's about 7 a.m. We're going to talk a little bit about snow today and the prospects this week for a significant snowstorm in the Friday-Saturday range. Okay, I've been saying for probably between 7 and 10 days that we had a chance today of getting some snow, and it looks like we're going to get that, though it is questionable how much of the any accumulation there will be. What you see on the screen is the current high-resolution rapid refresh model. DC is right in this area, Alexandria is right in this area, and about 11 a.m. it's showing that Alexandria is going to be overspread by snow. This is currently showing about a tenth of an inch, but the current temperature is 37 degrees. To get really any accumulation, the 2-meter temperature is going to have to be about 35 degrees before the snow starts. So at this point, unless the temperature starts dropping in the next couple of hours, we may only see a fine drizzle here. But it's possible that later in the day the drizzle will persist and the temperatures will drop, because we do have a cold front that's going to be coming through with Arctic air, and next week it's going to be extremely cold. It's likelihood through all of next week the high temperatures will not go above freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's possible that this could start changing over to snow if we start seeing a temperature drop. Okay, I think that's all we're going to say right now about this storm. I just heard the first rain alarm of the day went off about 7:09 a.m. So the moisture is currently about 60 miles south of Alexandria. Okay, but much more interesting is what the models are saying this morning about a significant snowstorm next Friday and Saturday and maybe even into Sunday. This actually is looking like a disruptive snowstorm. I suspect that the snow is going to start Friday, perhaps mid-morning, and will continue and strengthen throughout the day. So in all likelihood, the Friday commute in DC, if these models hold, is going to be very rough. And of course, we're still about 5 or 6 days out. The models do have inaccuracies that far out, but it's getting within the boundary where the confidence is getting high. And also there are several models that are saying basically the same thing. And when you have several models saying the same thing, the confidence really does start going up about it. So let's take a look at what they're saying. Okay, this is the latest GFS run. That's the American model, the Global Forecasting System. This is 6Z, which is the latest. And I have this set for Friday about noon. And at noon, it is showing a snow depth in the DC area between actually probably 10 and 12 inches. So if that comes to fruition, it's going to be extremely disruptive in DC. Okay, another thing I'd like to take a look at, and I should mention that these figures are probably with a snow to liquid ratio of about 10 to 1, which may or may not be accurate. they could conceivably go up higher or they could be lower. Okay, let's take a look at, let me move this back to where we were. Let's see, Friday. Yeah, okay, close enough. Okay, let's take a look at the next thing. This is the same GFS, only this is the mediagram for Reagan National Airport, the point directly over Reagan National Airport. And this is Friday. This is about noon on Friday. And we're showing that it potentially would start in the morning, mid-morning. This would probably be about 6 a.m. Or later. In this 3-hour period, it would accumulate to 0.3 of an inch, but then rapidly, or 3 inches rather, and rapidly will increase to 11, 12, 13, and 14 inches and top out about 14 inches on Saturday morning, probably about 6 a.m. Saturday morning. If you look over in the top here, we're showing very cold temperatures through that whole period. And so the temperatures are going to be below freezing or just maybe a degree above freezing through the entire event. So that's what you need for a big snow event, is 2-meter temperatures to remain below freezing. So that definitely looks promising for a big snow event. Okay, I'm going to bring up the, this is the GFS 6Z model, only buff kit, through buff kit, same data that we were just looking at, only through a different program. And let's do a overview of what we got. And this is the Friday, Saturday area over here with all these little white lines. Okay, so with this I can change different snow ratio analyses. So first of all, let's take a look at a thing called max T, max temperature. This is an older technique for measuring the snow to liquid ratio and estimating snow depths. It usually isn't used too much these days, but let's take a look at what it's saying. Okay, if we extend this, I can do a summation up over here. So this is saying with max T, we're looking at a compacted snow total of 13.3 inches. Okay, let's take a look at doing the climatological average, and we're going to do the actual average for this time of the year. It's about 11 to 1 if I remember correctly. 11 to 1, every 1 inch of rain produces 11 inches of snow. Okay, and let's take a look at what the totals with that is. And we're talking about 11.6 inches if we have a snow to liquid ratio of about 11 to 1. Okay, the more current way of analyzing the snow ratios is two different techniques developed by a meteorologist, Cobb. Cobb 5 and Cobb 11 is what it's called. So let's take a look at Cobb 5 first. And if we do a total here, we're talking maxing out late Friday of 15.7, and then it will continue doing a little snowing past that point. And so sometime Saturday, the total compacted value would be 14. So we're looking at a max with this of about 15.7 sometime probably at the PM rush on Friday. Okay, let's take a look at the other technique. It's called Cobb 11. And if we do the summation here, we're going to max out at about a compacted value of 13.2. Compacted values are the result of when you get a really steep or deep amount of snow. The snow on top is heavy enough to put the snow at the bottom of the pile, compact it more. So the value that people actually measure with their meter stick or foot rulers are really compacted values. They're not total actual amounts of snow, and the compacted values are always less than um, the actual value of the snow that falls. Okay, so with GFS, it's saying somewhere between about 10 inches and 15 inches over that Friday morning through Saturday morning period. Okay, let's go back to our other analysis here. Okay, another thing I look at is the mediagram generator from Iowa State University. This is our Friday, Saturday event. And what this allows you to do is look at moldable models actually this is the snow graph. Look at moldable models at the same time with different ways of calculating the snow ratio. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing anywhere between 3 inches and 13 inches if we look at all this. So this analysis is saying we have that big a range potentially, depending upon how you calculate snow ratios. And as we get closer to Friday, we'll have other models that will reach out to that time period, like the NAM and some other models. Okay, the reason why I'm really doing this broadcast is this. This is the European model, and it's set for Saturday about noon, this coming Saturday about noon, for the 48-hour snowfall amounts. And if you look at this is DC and Alexandria. It's clearly showing between 10 and 11 inches in the immediate metro area in Alexandria. The European model is very well respected, and when the European model says something, people really do pay attention to what it's saying. They're coupled with the fact that the GFS is saying basically the same thing, that we're going to have a disruptive snow Friday and Saturday. So it definitely is something to really pay attention to. Okay, this is the mediagram from the European model. It's showing again sometime on, I believe this is Friday. Yep. Actually, it's showing Saturday about, actually this is Friday night, about 5 p.m. No, 6 p.m. Friday about 6 p.m. we have a total of 5 inches, and then throughout the night it starts increasing, and about, let me see, about 9 a.m. Let me make sure I got this right. But no, about noon on Saturday we have 11 inches. It continues, so we're talking about 6 p.m. Saturday. It's saying 15 inches, and it's showing a topping out of 18 inches. Now, I should mention this is, I don't believe this includes compacting. So this is the true amount of snow that would be falling. So we're talking about probably in the neighborhood, we're between 10 to 12 inches of compacted snow, certainly by late Saturday night. Okay, what's causing the snow is this coastal low, northeaster, actually. And this line here is the 5400. This is a thickness layer, and this usually is the demarcation between rain and snow. If you look right in this area, it's hard to see, but right in this area is DC. And I have this set for about, let me see, what time would this be? This is probably late on Friday, the 22nd. If we move this a little bit back and forth, we move this to earlier on, this would be noon on Friday. If you notice, DC is right on the line of the snow. So potentially earlier in Friday, we may actually have a winter mix, which will switch over to snow pretty rapidly. And the biggest problem here is that we're going to have a long duration event. So even though it's going to start out as a winter mix, it's going to quickly switch over to snow, and it's going to last for quite a while. It's going to last into Saturday, and actually will not end. This is showing it won't really end until let's see, 15Z, about 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. So we're going to have probably at least a 24-hour event, and that's really the type of event for deep amounts of snow. Okay, there's one fly in the ointment. That's this model. This is the Canadian model, the latest one that occurred at midnight. DC in Alexandria is right here. It's showing that in Saturday morning or Saturday noon probably, the total accumulation is only going to be 1 to 2 inches in the DC area. But the fact is that we have two of the major global models showing that there is a disruptive event. And we're going to keep an eye on the Canadian model too throughout the day and tomorrow. But don't be surprised if sometime about Wednesday you start hearing about a big snow event for next weekend. Generally, the TV meteorologists hold off until about 3 days before the event because it becomes much more clear whether it's actually going to happen or not. But it's something to keep in mind if you have something planned for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of next week. You should keep your plans a little flexible until we get a clear indication of whether this is going to happen. And this is only developed within the last 12 hours. The issue is that offshore low, where that actually is going to track, how close to the shore it's going to track. And there's a lot of variability at this point. If it tracks a little further inland, it's going to be all rain. If it tracks a little further out, it's going to be all snow. And if it tracks very far out, it's probably going to be nothing, only a few flakes. So, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope it gives you a little bit of information for your future planning. If you have any questions, just give me a tweet at PatPend, that's PatPend, and I'll try and answer them. Thanks a lot.